Hey, welcome back to my channel. We are doing a new series specifically about what you should not be doing. See, I focus a lot on what you should be doing, at least in my opinion, based on my decade in the financial industry. But let's look at the things that you should not be doing. So this is video number 1 of the new series for Don't Do It. All right. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Kristen and I fix credit for a living. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of videos, such as the 447 free videos that show you how to do this yourself for free on YouTube. All right. Now, if you come over here to my member vault, there are 4 out of 5 things on here for free that'll also teach you how to do the best disputes that you possibly can. And there's also Letterfi 180, which is currently still just a one-time payment. I am currently moving it over to monthly. So for the time being, that is still just a one-time payment. You can create unlimited dispute letters. And I did all the heavy lifting for you because it's backed by a ton of split tests. So I created a PDF and it's for a fictional dude named Bob Miller. All right. So I'm going to show you what's wrong with this and what we need to do to fix this. Now, this is actually take number 2 because my first video did not save. So unfortunately, we're doing this again, but it's the first time for you. Now, while I am getting this set up, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yes, I am going to be going through my comments. So if you need me, post it in the comments. And if you would instead like for me to take over your file and do the credit sweep for you, please use the link in the description and I'll obviously see if I can help you. All right. So for Bob, let's go from the top down to the bottom and find out what does not belong on here. All right. So look at his social. I see this all the time. Put your entire social on there. If it's a letter to the bureaus, it needs to have your full social 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In addition, you should be sending in your full identification, ID, proof of SSN, such as your SSN card, and your proof of address. Okay, your ID is not also proof of address. You also need a bank statement, credit card statement, pay stub, utility bill, so on and so forth. All right, and the address on here and your date of birth and your social and your name, it all has to match your identification, okay? Another thing is don't bother backdating, okay? I've heard this like 7 times this week. I don't know. Things are just trendy, I guess. You're not going to fool the system. Your investigation goes based on the date that they process your dispute. So don't bother. All right, so let's just break this down. This is my 3rd request, and your failure to produce the documentation that I've requested has shown me that you're simply ignoring my disputes. Are you aware that Congress stated that the credit bureaus cannot just say something is verified without recourse, and that they cannot pawn it off on the consumer to deal with? So where's the proof of ownership and my signature and all this documentation that you claim to have in your records or files or whatever? First of all, they don't care if it's your first request, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 36th, 700th. Don't bother with it. Every single word on your letter matters. And if it doesn't belong on there, then don't put it, okay? Your investigation is just based on a request, okay? So all you're doing is saying, this is why I'm writing the letter. I want you to reinvestigate or investigate the following accounts. 1, 2. I'm trying to get a job and I'd appreciate if you would just investigate these items or reinvestigate because you didn't correct the inaccuracies on my credit report. As simple as that. Okay. So your failure to produce documentation that blah, blah, blah. If you are disputing Capital One and American Express, you're not requesting documentation, you're requesting deletions, and it's not based on section 609 because 609, believe it or not, has to do with consumer disclosures and has nothing to do with requesting documentation and signatures. Okay. So another thing is that you need to have a whole horde of disputes and violation logs and all of that before you ever make complaints. So to say, I need all of this within 15 days or I'll have no choice other than to make complaints with the FTC, the BBB, the CFPB, NSA, FBI, and NASA makes absolutely no sense because you need to have 12 months or 10 rounds or whatever of documentation showing that you disputed this based on the facts reported on your credit report. And here's violation 1, here's violation 2, here's violation 3, here's violation 4. Here are all of my responses. And now their failure to correct or verify based on the FCRA or the, FDCPA, whatever, is going to result in these deletions because of this, and these are my complaints. Okay, so that's what you're doing. You do not make a complaint because you send in one round, and now because they're not willing to remove something because you're using a law that has nothing to do with the accounts you're disputing. Like, it doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. And if you are sending in letters that look like this, I need for you to send me all docs that were used to verify these accounts, all communication between your organization and these creditors, the names and positions of the persons responsible for this, the actual contracts that bear my signature. If none of these exist, you must remove each of these accounts. This is all taken from actual letters that people send. So if this is what your dispute looks like, then you are not going to get anywhere. And if you do, number one, it's a miracle. And number two, it's going to be temporary. And we are not looking for temporary results. Okay. This is not a temporary, solution we're looking for. We are looking for a permanent solution. Okay. Not temporary. And sending a letter like this is all it's going to do is get you nothing but headaches and heartache and whatever. Okay. The way that you fix this is by totally keeping out this first paragraph, because it's not telling them what you want other than where's this and where's that, and you failed to do this. They don't care about that. They don't care about that. Your letter needs to tell the computer exactly what you want. I need for you to investigate or reinvestigate the following two accounts, Capital One and American Express. The reason that I need for these to be removed is, number one, I'm trying to get a job, and number two, there's inaccuracies reported on my credit report that you need to fix. These are the reasons why the accounts need to be removed. Capital One has the date last active reported differently on all three bureaus. Experian reports X, Equifax reports X, and TransUnion reports X. Obviously, those are not the same dates. Delete this account for inaccuracy. American Express has late payments after this account was closed in June of 2016. After the account was closed, there should absolutely be no activity. Delete this account. And I would appreciate if you send me a new credit report that reflects these deletions. Thanks, Bob. Okay, that's what your letter should look like. It should be even more simple than this. Okay, the only paragraph on here that says what you're looking for is this one right here, and none of this is valid. None of this is valid. You're not going to get any of this. Okay, you're not going to get any of this. Now, why shouldn't you be asking for documentation for the account that you opened unless it was not yours? And just so you know, saying something is not mine when it really is credit repair suicide. The reason is that you didn't fill anything out. You didn't sign anything unless you were inside the bank, right? When you actually went, like you went to Bank of America, you filled out all their paperwork, they gave you your copies, they kept it on file, blah, blah, blah. So you're asking for something that does not exist. And it just doesn't work like that. Now, under Section 1681, it states that unless they have the relevant documentation that would prove that the account is, verified that the account needs to be removed, well, sending you proof simply means that they can send you what? Statements. Yes, because these statements prove that you made these transactions, which account to this balance that they're reporting of $1,000. So when you get those statements in the mail, it is relevant documentation because you are otherwise asking for something that does not exist, and therefore it's not going to be removed. Does that make sense? What you are asking for must make sense. If it does not make sense, it will not happen. That is why we use the facts directly from the credit report, because it is irrefutable. It is irrefutable. They cannot fight the fact that they're reporting $10 when it really should be $0. They cannot fight the fact that there's a monthly payment on a closed account of $100. They cannot fight the fact that there are 3 different dates last active, or that there are 7 different late payments reported that say 120 days late when there's no 30 days. So these are the things that you need to look at. These are the things that need to make sense so that you can get your results. Does this make sense? Yes or yes? All right. So if you are not getting results like this, this is actually first round. And I have quite a few files that look like this, by the way, in the middle of a pandemic. So you need to change up what you're doing. You need to change up what you're doing, and you need to break down your letters, and you need to figure out, why am I not getting results? Why is my score going down? Why am I waiting 2 years before I get a deletion? And it all comes down to the way that your letter works, okay? The way that your dispute reasons are listed, the way that you have sent your letter, whether you're disputing online, whether you are calling in your disputes. Don't do any of that. This is the stuff that you should not do, because if you do, you're not going to get results like this. Now, is this the exception or is this the rule? This is the exception, right? But it's all because of the work that I do to ensure that my letters work for my clients, okay? This is first round. This is starting score. This is current score, 45 days later, okay? So anywho, if you need help with your disputes, it's really as simple as just going to my trying to get to it here, but I'm using a weirdo pen. Anyways, it's as simple as going to my member vault, and that's it. I mean, you can get a bunch of stuff for free. You can get Letterfy 180. You can whatever. And otherwise, post in the comments what it is that you are struggling with, and I will see if I can either make a video or maybe I can just quickly answer it. And that's basically it, guys. Remember, anatomy of a dispute letter, the dispute scenario game, dispute stream, the perfect dispute reason creator, and lastly, Letterfy 180. There's also the dispute IQ quiz, which, according to all the feedback that I've gotten on levels 1, 2, and 3, or excuse me, sections 1, 2, and 3 on level 1, people love it. It teaches them, and that's really all that matters to me. So that's it, guys. If you need my help, use the comments. Use the link to schedule a call with me if you want me to take over your file, or just post and let me know how I can be of assistance. So I hope you enjoyed the first video of the Do Not Do series, and otherwise, have a wonderful day. Share this video with someone and let me know what you think. Have a great day.